Hi. So I am Swati Singhania, and before I start, I want to thank you all for holding it for so long. This has probably been the longest break any content creator must have taken from YouTube. But this video is for you to understand that if you are ever wanting to become a content creator, what are the problems you are going to face, especially in this extremely highly competitive world. I'm going to share my experience as to why I stopped putting content on YouTube and why am I here again. So last year, when COVID struck in 2020, I had this long lost dream of, having my content on the internet, for being someone who is known to inspire and also who can share her experience about business, about finance, and how a small town girl came to a big city and created her space. So I thought, what's the best way to do it? Let me finally start following my dream. And so I uploaded my first video on April 2020. Now, when I go back to that video, I do think I could have done a better job. But I'm sure we all think that for the first trial that we did. So, I completed my first year in April 2021. And these are the top issues that I started facing. And let me tell you how I've solved them. By the time I neared 1 year, the biggest challenge I started facing was not from anyone else, but within. I became extremely critical about my own self. I started judging myself. I started saying, okay, I'm not looking the best I can. I'm not wearing the perfect clothes. I could have tied my hair. I could have put more kajal or, stuff like that. So I became extremely critical about my own self and extremely judgmental. And somewhere it was not helping me because I started believing that I don't look good and I'm not presentable. Because every time I went on internet and saw my own videos, I started comparing myself with my own, better self. Probably there are moments when I look better. And this video, I would probably not look the best that I have in my life. And so this judgment started coming in and this started killing my confidence somewhere. And I thought it's not helping me. Somewhere I needed to take that break to go back to myself and to accept as to the way I look and also the way that 365 days I would probably look 365 times. I cannot look the same way every day. Some days are good looking, some days are okay looking, right? So I became extremely judgmental about myself, about the language, about the way I look, about the way I talk, and sometimes also about the knowledge I carry. And I thought this is not helping me. Forget YouTube, forget content. It is not helping me in my own life. And so taking this break was important. Now, the second issue which I faced was I started comparing my journey with the journey of various others, right? So there are people who started creating content 5 years, 10 years back. There are people who started creating content with me. Some of their channels have doing far better than what my channel was doing, right? So, this again started hitting my confidence. Am I not good enough? Am I not talking well enough? Am I not giving enough knowledge to my audience? Am I not adding any value to their knowledge? Am I not creating good content? And this started again hitting my own confidence about my own knowledge. So I do believe that I have worked really hard to reach where I am. And I do think that if I don't know about anything, I'm humble enough to go back to books and study about it again and to brush up my knowledge. And believe me, in this ever-evolving world, we need to keep reading, especially people in the finance industry, because every week there is a new regulation that comes in, a new tax rule that comes in. So, we are never 100% updated. But because my channel was not getting liked, I started believing maybe I'm not adding value. Maybe my content is not good. And so again, this started becoming the biggest discouragement. I had to push myself to create the content. I was never ready to create content. And so this somewhere was not helping me in my life. Now the third, and I'm sure every content creator goes through this problem. So when you check out these videos or when you read blogs which says how to have a successful YouTube channel, they say create a pattern, ensure that you post regularly, ensure that you have, if you post Mondays, ensure that every Mondays you're posting. If you're Sundays, then ensure that every Sundays you're posting something. So there has to be a routine, there has to be a timeline, there has to be a target, and you have to be regular. Now, this started creating a lot of pressure on me because I'm just not a content creator. I also have a consultancy firm, right? So I have clients to take care. I have things that I have to take care in my life. So a lot of times, in spite of having an extremely hectic day, I used to sit on my table and think, oh, I was supposed to make a video today, which is supposed to go online in the next 3 days, and I've still not started recording it. So imagine there are times I recorded videos even at 9 p.m. at night, and sometimes I even did at 1 a.m. in the morning or midnight. So this was all because of the pressure that was piling up. And so I needed to prioritize. I needed to decide as to what's more important, why am I doing it, and does this pattern really matter to me? Is it important for me to ensure that every Mondays I post or every Wednesdays I post? There was a time I started posting almost 2 videos a week, right? From there, going back to 0 videos for 5-6 months is happened because of top 3 these reasons. Now, in addition that, obviously there's some amount of laziness, there's some amount of procrastination, there's a little bit amount of all these things also, but the top 3 reasons were these. Now, let me tell you how I won over these issues, okay? So the first things first, I started working on myself. I started working out. I started taking care of my health better. I started eating better. I started taking care of my skin, hair, health, everything better. So I have come to a place where I know that I am taking care of myself. Now, when I'm doing my best, if after that I'm looking good, good enough. If I'm not looking good, better enough, right? Because this is the most I could do. So my real reason was not that I'm not looking presentable. The real reason was that I started believing I am not doing enough for my own self. What is more important to me? Shouldn't I be taking better care of myself? Because I am supposed to take care of me first, right? And then I can take care of anything else in the world. So this is something that I did in the past 6 months, and I'm telling you, it has really helped me gain a lot of confidence, put on the smile back. So, there are times when people come and tell me, oh, Swati, you're not looking good, you have white hair and stuff like that. And I'm like, great. If you can see my white hair, that means I have hair, right? So these things started coming back. That confidence I had in me started coming back because I started taking care of my own self. So the whole judgment about myself was not because I thought I was not looking presentable. The main reason for that was I thought I was not being sufficient for my own self. And so I should be prioritizing that before working on anything else in my life. And I'm doing that. The second was, the fact that because subscribers are not coming in, and I'm not getting that sufficient viewership that I think I should be getting. The conclusion that my content is not good. That was my second biggest problem. Now, you know what the solution to that was? The solution to that is that when I stopped making content, I started receiving messages sometimes that why have you stopped making videos? And these are from random people. These are from people I didn't know. And sometimes my friends also, when I met them or, I had a conversation with them, they would be like, hey, I'm not seeing your videos anymore. I got used to seeing your videos. It became my Sunday routine to watch your video. It became my Friday routine to watch your video. You should continue to do that. And when I used to tell them that, are you sure my content is good enough? They're like, yes, are you crazy for even believing that 1% of your content is not good? Whether you're talking sense or not for the whole world, you were talking sense to me. And even if there are 600, 1,000, 2,000 people who believe that, I think I should be creating content. And that is something I started realizing, that the content I'm creating is not going to be liked by everyone. it will be liked by only few, because I'm talking about things which are extremely critical, because I'm talking about things which are very technical. I'm also trying to make them easy for people. But yes, sometimes people like red color and sometimes people like green. Doesn't make red or green bad, right? So that's what it was all about. And the feedback I got from my social circle, the feedback I got from my family and my friends is what made me think to come back to YouTube. So I had not given up on YouTube, but I had paused myself from YouTube. And I told myself that once you're completely ready, that is the day we will go back to recording. And here I am. So I hope that if you ever go back to content creation, remember this in your mind, that there would be times where your confidence will be extremely low, or probably you'll hit rock bottom because you will not get that audience that you want to receive, right? But it's all a part of the process. It comes gradually. And I think when I stopped making videos, I was at around 400 subscribers, and I'm at about 650 subscribers today. And I'm super happy that this 600, 700 people didn't give up on me. I'm so thankful to you guys that you guys didn't give up on me. Somewhere, you are one of the biggest reasons that I've come back to recording. So thank you guys. And last but not the least, this time when I came back to recording, I have promised myself that I'll try and do more content, but I would not restrict myself to days as to you have to do this by Monday, you have to do this by Wednesday. Content creation has to be something which comes from within. It has to be something that when there is a topic I really want to talk to my audience about, and I think it is really going to benefit my audience, that is something that I should come back to content. So I'm not going to push myself that hard that it becomes challenging and I start breaking at that point. So maybe you guys will have to have patience, and I would love to hear suggestions that, okay, talk about this topic. It always helps connecting with your audience. And yes, somewhere it does boost your confidence. It tells you that, okay, there is someone in those 1,000, 2,000 or 1 million people who's waiting for my content, who says that, okay, Swati, please make that video because I'm waiting for that video. So it does encourages. So I hope you will understand why I took the break. And I hope if you ever want to go back to content creation, these are the top things you will remember, and you would know how I overcome. And you would also remember how I overcame them, so that if you fall into that pitfall, you know how to come out. So keep subscribing. Thank you so much for sharing my videos with your friends and family. And don't forget to share this video with that friend of yours who is wanting to get into content creation. So see you guys. I'm signing off. I'm Swati Singh.